Hello chocks and chocolate and in between, Roberto here for another video review. Yes, it's the coconut flavour M&Ms, inspired by Bounty. Yeah, so basically an Australian product. So they always say inspired by rather than, I don't know, Bounty edition or something like that. But I guess I quite like that because it means obviously it isn't Bounty, it's just basically coconut coconut flavour. So but you know, they've still got the branding on there. So it was interesting, yeah. So I'll say these are from Australia. Look to be well, essentially regular chocolate M&Ms, but various colours. And obviously with coconut flavour. So there we go. Yeah, nice and simple. I did review the bubblegum ones not too long ago, which is basically a similar thing. Although they weren't, I think maybe they were inspired by Hubba Bubba, I think actually. Yeah, so they obviously they do a few different flavours there. And it's interesting as well in Australia, they tend to do lots of various limited editions, special editions and variations of various products. And it's a lot better than in the UK really. You get so much more range of things, variety of things. And I don't know why that is, but it is the case. And you think, you know, UK, I'm quite sure relatively big lovers of chocolate as far as you know, the world goes, I guess you'd say. I mean, I know there's obviously, I guess most places like chocolate, don't really, but I don't feel like the UK is any less so. But we just nonetheless don't get many interesting products really. So yeah, we've got this from B&M. Interesting one, so we can get it from other importers and things. Although B&M's not really known for being an importer, but nonetheless they do import quite a lot of products. We've got the guy resting in the coconut there. Looks quite relaxed, very nice. You can obviously see the implications here of a blue, a white and a brown M&M. The different colours that you get in this, I assume. I'm going to have a shark spoon on his back. Coconut flavour milk chocolate with a thin fin for the pun, crisp shell. Okay, there we go. So for the Red Cycle programme, obviously that's probably Australia exclusive. I don't think you did a Red Cycle in the UK, but who knows. M&M's Bounty, serving size 25 grams. Per 100 grams, 463 calories, 11.5 grams of fat, 7.4 which are saturates. And per serving, 107 calories, 29 grams of fat, 1.8 of which are saturates. It's a 160 gram pack. So yes, I'll probably be showing the conversions now for what those are. And the serving, 25 grams. It's basically just over a sixth, isn't it, basically? Yeah, so there we go. You can see in the background, there's more information there. You can see it contains milk solids 65%. Or contains milk chocolate 65%, but you can't see that on here, I don't think. Or can you? Well, there we go. So chocolate contains a minimum of 28% cocoa solids and 22% milk solids. So I don't know what the 65% is that you can see just poking through there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's an interesting that, isn't it? It's very interesting. I don't know. Yeah, strange how you get these differences there. And well, there we go. Hang on. There we go. Look at that. Yes, milk chocolate 65%. There we go. All right. So M&M's coconut flavour contains milk chocolate 65%. But we don't get what the other 35% is. I guess that's the sugar coating maybe and other things, but yeah, I don't know. We can see all those E numbers there as well. Plenty of those. Funny in the Australian bars though, they're basically, you know, they're just the same but without the E. The E just stands for Europe or European Union. It's just an ID. It's just sometimes they give you the specifics rather than write them out basically, but you know, most things will have an E number. You know, vitamin C will have an E number. There you go. Look at this. What it says here. Look, warning: E129, E1110, and E102 may have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. So bear that in mind. Yeah, bear that in mind. Interesting. That very interesting. Children in the product. Yes, so the colourings there basically. Interesting. That I don't know if they're means they're banned in the EU. Well, they can't be banned in the EU, but I don't know if they're restricted or not commonly used in the EU. But obviously Australia don't mind. Maybe they are still using the EU. Just you know, just I don't know. It's not quite as common, or you just don't see the warning as much, or I don't know really. But there we go. Interesting. Worth bearing in mind that. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that all that sugar sort of stuff, giving children sugar, was a nonsense. Really, it just wasn't actually true. It was just people, you know, just had a bias to say, well, I've given the kids sugar, and they're just doing kid type things, running around and stuff. So therefore, you know, therefore the sugars made them go hyper. And I thought that, you know, and that's what I heard was basically just it just wasn't true. But nonetheless, they've got that on the back. But whether that's just derived from the fact that of a similar thing, just this belief that it may happen, I don't know. But nonetheless, to see it in black and white does imply that it's got more facts about it. It just can't just be rumour or whatever. But nonetheless, interesting. Now the label does almost come off here. Usually these labels are very hard to get off because it's not quite stuck on properly there. But you can see as soon as I try and do anything clever, it will just start to rip, and the bits are stuck on properly. So I'm not going to try and get it off. It's just you just don't come off properly basically. So it's a shame, but I think we got the gist of the information there anyway. So there we go. There's the green M&M lady there on there. rubber ring under a palm tree. There we are. You know, you can get a difference in gender just with such simple things such as the lips and the eyebrows and maybe the shape of the eyes. But maybe the crossed legs has something to do with it as well. Interesting. So there we go. Right, well, the last thing to say is probably the fact that you could, you know, I mean, this pack is not very full, is it really? I mean, look at that, you know, bit of crimp at the top of the I mean, you can peel it from that bit onwards, so I don't think you could ever fill any of the M&Ms in this bit, you know, it's just stuck together. There's a sort of bit of a pack at the bottom there. It doesn't quite go to the bottom either. Yeah, you can see it's about half full basically. You know, but there we go. It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. And it's quite well packed down here. There's obviously crimps at the sides as well, so you could never get any in there. So it's a lot smaller a pack than you'd think it would do, and you take all that into account. You know, so there's regular M&Ms bags that are just little small ones you get on the regular counter. I mean, basically you could fill one of them. It would be quite full, so there would be a risk of bursting maybe, but nonetheless, you get the impression that it could fit into one of those bags. What's in here really? But anyway, so those ones themselves are probably half empty as well. So there we go. Alright, I don't think there's much more to say, so let's move ourselves down, give them an open. So let's do it. Let's give them an open. Okay then, I'm going to give these coconut flavour M&Ms inspired by Bounty an open. Yeah, so, well, without further ado, we just need to get into it, and let's do it. So technically I've done about 1,030 reviews, I think, believe it or not. So if you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. It's alright to come and I'll put a link to a place of all the other reviews, so some of the latest ones, such as other M&M ones, other Australian ones, other coconut ones, yeah, things like that. So after you watch this, like and subscribe, go check those out. Hope you enjoy those too. There you go, so the 3 different colours there. Well, maybe a slight coconut smell coming from them, but more of an M&M smell, I think you'd say. Yeah, you can see the 3 different colours there. The white there, brown there, and blue there. So let's have a look at the Bounty colours, I guess you'd say. Alright, there we go. So if there's any difference in taste, particularly, there might be a slight difference, maybe in the vein of sort of Orange Smarties, but I don't think there's much difference generally. The white ones have a bit of an off-white look to them. You can see it's a bit beige, a bit cream. You can see it's definitely a sort of beige colour there. It does have the M on it, which is good. I think I reviewed some Skittles products the other week that didn't have the S on them for the most part, you know, which is a bit of a shame. I think only one colour had the S on them, so yeah, I think all of them do in this case. That one does, the brown one. And the blue ones, presumably, yes, they do. They all have the M on them, so that's good. About, yeah. Interesting, so they obviously have to do slightly different colours for them as well, I think. So yeah, glad that they do that, you know, for them to stand out a bit more, I think, anyway. Well, let's see distribution then, shall we? Let's see how many there are. We'll see the different colours. It's going to take a bit of time, this one. We'll do sort them into groups of 10. That's probably the easiest way to do it. There we go. Alright, yes. Okay. Do the blues first, of course. Well, I want to say, of course, there's no reason to do the blues first, but I'm just started doing them, that's the reason why. Alright. So might look at nice fused one there, like ones like that. We'll keep that just to one side. I do like ones like that, nice the mutated ones, you might say, I don't know. Honestly, but there we go. I'll keep it as include it in that pile there, why not? Okay, so that's 10, 5. Oh, 5. Right, if you count that's 2, it's 10. Do I count it as 2? I'll count it as, well, yeah. I count it as 1 for the moment, and then, yeah, there we go. So nearly done the blue ones. I mean, to be honest with you, the distribution doesn't matter too much in this one because they're all the same flavour, as far as I know anyway. So, but it's nice to do all the same. I think. Alright, okay, so, alright, I don't know whether to... Okay. 4, 5. Alright. There's 9 in that one. So if we did count that as 2, we'd have a clean 10, wouldn't we? So I'll count that as 2, so we've got a pile of 10. But, you know, potentially it's 9. Alright, so cheating maybe, but there we go. Alright. We should have done this in a separate order, so it would have been easier to, if they got mixed together, it wouldn't matter so much. So that's 10 there. Yes. No from that flat. Yeah, 10 there. 6, 8, 9, 10. So maybe I'll do that now. 6, 8, 10. There we go. Okay. So basically, if I'd have done it, each colour at a time, then it would, then it wouldn't have mattered if I'd mixed them up, because it would have the different colours would have been next to each other. But hindsight, I'll know that for next time. 6, 8, 2 more, 10. Okay. Although you have done this more than once, you would have thought I'd know by now, but there we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There we go. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so having mixed these up a bit, I think we're just about getting away with it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright, there we go. Alright, so 7 and 3 of those. So I think that's roughly it. I mean, I don't know. I think that's probably close enough. As I say, we have counted that double one as 2 there. For better or worse, that's what we've done. So hopefully this is right. I mean, I might have made a slight mistake, or one might have merged into another. I think here, for instance, actually it looks to be too many, but maybe it belongs to that. Yeah, I think there's too many there, I think, on that one. Yeah. And I think it goes here, but it must have moved up a bit. Or maybe that was one I said was 9 if I can't remember now. Anyway, there we go. It seems to be all right. So I think this is okay. I mean, it looks to be roughly all right from what I can tell. So there might be the odd one that's out of place. I don't think there is, but there could be. Is it worth fussing over it? Probably not. Yeah, I think that's about right. But we've got some extra ones here. So let's see, for the blue ones, 5, 10, hang on. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Got 60 blue ones. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 57 brown ones. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 53 white ones. So, yeah, what's it? 60, 57, 53. So, it's not too bad. There's over 50 of each one, so that's not too bad. All right, there we go. All right, so let's have a see. So we've got each different type here. We'll look at them closely. There we go. Very nice. So you can see the M's on them there. Look pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Yeah. Not bad. And let's have a see. So basically give them a measure. And they all seem to be roughly the same size. Let's give them a measure. How many was in total then? 5, 10, 15. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 60. So 60, 160. 170 wasn't it in the end? So they're almost a gram each, really. I think it was 160 in the pack, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah. So 170 in the pack. Too bad. Right. So the height of them about 7 millimeters. In diameter about 100. Well, about 1.3. 1.3. Almost 1.35. There we go. Okay, and so after all that, it's probably time to move them back in. So I'll empty them back in and leave just a few out so we can twist a couple or chop one in half, what have you. Right, there we go. So left 3 of each out, and that's fair enough. And yes, I've got a knife off to one side here, so we'll give one a chop just to see what it's worth. There you go. chopped into quarters actually. It's quite neat, wasn't it? Quite neat quarters there. There you are, you can see basically what it's all about. But there you go. See there, the crisp sugar shell. It's like blue on the outside, but obviously a light white to it where it's not been coloured, I guess, on the inside. And then the chocolate. So quite a thick chocolate in proportion to the rest of it, but enough shell there to give it a nice crispy crunch. But about millimetre, half a millimetre thick. There we go. All right. Okay, well, I don't think there's much more to say other than to lift myself up and give them a taste. So yeah, let's do it. Let's give them a taste. Okay, then everyone, going to give these, yes, coconut flavoured M&Ms inspired by Bounty a taste. Yeah, very excited for these ones, very excited indeed. So we've got one of each of them here. So yeah, I think why not go for the full Monty? So let's do it. Let's give them a taste. Interesting. Basically, what you expect is a coconut flavour, and they got they basically got one. You know, it's a bit it's interesting because it's not actually coconut. You know, there's no actual coconut in there. It's obviously you kind of, you know, normally with coconut you kind of get the texture of coconut. It's quite chewy, and it kind of well, chewy is the right word, but it kind of it has a consistency where, you know, it lingers in the mouth for a bit, and you kind of get more flavour the more you like sort of chew it, I guess. I don't know if really chew it. I guess you do chew it, don't you? Yeah, and that's how it happens with real coconut. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, but obviously with this one you don't get that. You just get the flavour of the chocolate. So it's a bit different. It's a bit weird, but it's definitely there. I mean, you know, it's basically what you'd expect, really. I mean, you know, typical M&Ms, nice and crunchy. The chocolate, obviously, I'd say it's perhaps the flavour's lost a bit with the fact that it's got that coconut flavour, but I mean, I think that's probably what you'd expect. You know, had a couple of different colours. I'm not convinced there's an easily detectable difference. Maybe I've had loads of white ones at once and loads of brown ones at once and loads of blue ones at once. I'll be able to tell the difference, but generally, you're never really going to do that. You know, unless you're really particular, you just be grabbing a handful and eating them all at once. You know, they're pretty good. I mean, chocolate's nothing to write home about, but you can't really taste it much because of the coconut. But it is still noticeably M&Ms. You know, you get that sort of, M&Ms does have a bit of a chocolate aftertaste, which could also be brought out by the crispy sugar shell, and that's nice. It's you know, it's got a good crunch to it. Not too hard, you know. It's just nice enough. It's the typical sugar shell you're getting smarter than M&Ms, you know, obviously because it is an M&M's product. But yeah, overall, all in all, it does pretty much what it says on the tin. It's one of those, really. It's basically just M&Ms, just chocolate M&Ms with a coconut flavour. The coconut flavour's not too strong, but it's enough to give you know, a semblance of coconut. I mean, it doesn't have the texture of coconut, of course. I mean, that's one of the main things with coconut, really. I mean, it's definitely has that sort of distinct texture that gives it a chewing, makes you sort of. It's weird how it sort of mixes with your saliva and things, and you sort of extract more flavour the more you chew on it. It's an odd one, coconut, really. Never used to like it, but only a bit more recent years. It's still a bit hit and miss one for me, or at least a funny one. But you know, I don't mind. It's the texture I'm not a big fan of with the coconut generally, but the flavour I don't mind. And yeah, this isn't too bad. I don't know really. You know, it's basically just M&Ms with a coconut flavour at the end of the day. So most of this is just talking about M&Ms, really. But the flavour itself, I say, is quite subtle. It's not too strong, but it's definitely there. I think it's probably balanced just about right. I mean, it does mean you can't really taste much of the M&Ms chocolate, but you can still notice it's there, and it's still M&Ms, still has that distinct M&Ms taste. So I guess that means it's probably about right, really. So yeah, I think all in all, it does what it does, and it does it well enough. There's no coconut. So really, I say, inspired by Bounty is probably the best way to put it, because it is literally just a coconut flavour. So the Bounty, you know, I mean, well, Bounty is just coconut, really, with covered in chocolate, isn't it? Anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, you know, it's it is what it is. Yeah, overall, it just does what it does, basically, and yeah, and it does it well. So I think for me, it's a good 3.5 or 4. I don't know if I give it a 4, perhaps. You know, maybe it's a bit too high. I think M&Ms are generally, you know, chocolate M&Ms are generally 3.5, maybe a 4 to push. Certainly more towards a 4 than a 3, but maybe just about dead centre with 3.5 really. So I think for me, yeah, you know, if you're a massive Bounty fan or coconut fan, you're probably going to get more out of these than most people, but I think that goes without saying. It's generally the case with a lot of these things. But I think for the general person, you know, It's just another take on M&Ms, and it does it well enough, but doesn't really add much more to make you fall in love with it any more than you perhaps already did or didn't. So I think for me, 3.5 out of 5. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out YouTube member program and Discord server, links are in the description for those. Click on one of these videos that's been on the screen now. It's what my channel continues to watch my content. Some of them are playlists as well actually. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment or free. Always great to hear from you and always doing best to reply. And have a great day. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.